Welcome to Second Take, Hindsight's 2020. I'm Jesse Pinkman, filling in for the Daryl Derryberry. Mr. White, my birds versus your Sox in the World Series, just as we planned. Think these next 2 weeks will be fun?
I'm Walter White, sitting in for Jared Van Versky, and Jesse. A four-game sweep only takes 5 days.
I don't know about that. We got Wainwright going game one.
I got Lester than Lester.
Second Take, ladies and gentlemen. In today's episode, a new team atop the NFL, a rejuvenated Derrick Rose, and another shakeup of the BCS polls that we always love to argue about. But first, and most importantly, we begin with the World Series. On Friday, the St. Louis Cardinals absolutely crushed LA's Clayton Kershaw as well as the rest of the Dodgers bullpen to win 9-0 and move on to their 19th World Series in franchise history. They will meet up with the Boston Red Sox, who won the pennant just a day later after Shane Victorino's grand slam that put the bearded men over the Detroit Tigers 5-2. Walter, your thoughts on our dream matchup that we've been waiting for this whole year?
You know what, Jesse? This is it. I honestly think it's going to go 7 games.
It's going to be a great series, Walter.
We got great pitching all over the place. You know, we got Lester, we got Wainwright, we got Waka Flocka Flame, we got Lackey, even Jake Peavy, and we also got the bats. You know, we're bringing the wood in more ways than one, and in the end, it's going to come down to the beer.
I think it'll go 7. Wainwright versus Scott Lester in the first game is going to be a great pitching matchup. But there's 2 matchups I really want to focus on. It's Yadier Molina, our catcher, all-star, maybe the best catcher in the league, against your guys' running game like Jacoby Ellsbury. It's going to be a great series, though.
Let's head to the closet and bring out the broom, shall we? We now move to the Sunday night football game where Peyton Manning's return to Indy wasn't so lucky. The Indianapolis Colts held on to a 36-17 lead early in the fourth quarter till the Broncos came storming back to cut the deficit to just 6 with 8 minutes to go. But just like playoff Peyton, the Broncos fell short and the Colts held on to win 39-33. Jesse, are the boys from Indy really this good, or are the Broncos just beatable?
You know, I think the Broncos are a great team. Obviously, they're 6-1. They ran through the first 6 weeks of the season, putting up crazy numbers on offense. But they keep on turning the ball over. They had 4 the other night. That worries me a little bit. They fumbled on the 1-yard line. I don't know why you run it there when you have Peyton Manning under center, but they ran it and they fumbled, and it cost them the game.
Manning obviously comes back as he always does, but don't forget Reggie Wayne, done for the season.
That's a big loss. That's a huge loss. He's been their number
Colts
1
with
target
the
the
big
last
win,
2 years.
New England
but
with the
remember,
loss.
they have Cody Fleener from Stanford as tight end, and we all know whose fantasy football team he's on.
Not a good one.
Not a good one at all. But we'll see how the Colts react next week playing in Houston.
They need to get lucky, no pun intended. All right.
On to college football now, as the BCS polls came out with the top 5 teams atop the rankings undefeated. Probably the most convincing performance this year was the Florida State's 51-14 drubbing of Clemson last week in South Carolina. That jumped them over Ohio State, your boys, and Oregon into the number 2 slot in the rankings. Mr. White, my question for you is, with 9 weeks gone in the college football season, which 2 teams do you see ranked 1 and 2 at the end of the year?
You know what? I was very impressed by Florida State and the Seminoles. Jameis Winston, however you say his first name, kid's 18 years old. Makes me feel like I'm 39. But anyway, great team.
You're close to it.
But somehow, some way, I think Urban Meyer and the Buckeyes are going to slide into that number 2 spot. Florida State's going to trip up in one of their last games. Oregon's going to lose either against Stanford or in the Pac-10 game, and Urban Meyer's going to be undefeated for 2 whole years.
I agree with you on the fact that Urban Meyer and the Ohio State Buckeyes are going to be undefeated. I mean, their schedule is terrible.
Oh, no doubt.
Their non-conference games include Florida A&M and
Michigan.
Buffalo.
Terrible.
So they're going to be undefeated because their schedule is just awful. Now, Florida State, I think, is going to be undefeated as well. They just passed their biggest test. They have to play the ACC championship.
Don't forget.
But they've passed their biggest test with beating Clemson at Clemson. Now, Oregon, that's my team that everyone's overlooking. They're number 3, but I still think they have a couple more games to win, but they still can get it done and finish number 2.
Switching sports to basketball and Derrick Rose now. Yes, I just mentioned those 2 in the same sentence. After sitting out for 18 months healing a torn ACL, Derrick Rose has returned to be the D Rose that we all know, at least for now. In his first 2 preseason games, Rose has averaged 27.5 points in just 27 minutes of playing time. Jesse, are you surprised at all by this, and do you think D Rose is going to go Adrian Peterson on the rest of the NBA this season?
Do I think he's going to be the NBA's Adrian Peterson? No, he's not, because Adrian Peterson played the next year. D Rose has sit out, what is it?
Since Vietnam.
Since Vietnam. But, you know, he's playing well. He's obviously healthy. I think he was healthy at the end of last year, but he didn't come back.
Right.
So, no, I don't think he'll be Adrian Peterson, but I want to see him playing a meaningful game and put up big points. I'm tired of seeing the commercial with 2 Chainz, the Adidas thing, lose the fame. I don't know.
I agree with you. I don't think he's, but I'm a fan of Derrick Rose. I think he's the most athletic.
I love Derrick Rose.
I think he's the most athletic person I've ever seen play, but he's no Rajon Rondo. I will give you this, however, his free throws, 19 for 23, hasn't done that since, who did he play in 08 in the national championship?
I believe it was your Kansas Jayhawks. That cost him the game. His
shot,
free throws have improved over his NBA career.
Shot. Let's take a break. But coming up, mail time with questions from our beloved Twitter followers about who else but your own Kansas City Chiefs.
And also who we think has the most momentum going forward in the always muggy NFC East.
Get involved at PSU and gain the opportunity to represent your fellow students and engage in a decision-making process of the campus community. The Student Government Association is an organization committed to the highest form of student representation at Pittsburgh State University. Service in SGA enables you to have an influence on and off campus. It gives you the opportunity to sharpen your skills that will help you as you enter the job market upon graduation. SGA allows you to make the difference.
Welcome back to Second Take. Jesse, guess what time it is?
Mail time?
You're right, it is mail time. First up, Jesse, I'll let you have this one first. Our first piece of mail comes from Nathan Dreiling, and he asks,
never heard of him.
After the Cowboys spanking of the Eagles last Sunday, do you see America's team finally winning the division this year?
You know, Mr. White, I think this is the year they get it done.
Finally.
They're 4-3. Finally. They're 4-3. They just came off huge wins against the Redskins and the Giants. Or excuse me, the Eagles. And, you know, Washington's 2-4. They're inconsistent. They've played well at times, but RG3 I still don't think is healthy. The Giants are 1-6. Just played one of the worst Monday night games of all time. That was terrible.
Oh, I'd rather watch Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know about that, but yeah, it was bad.
They should win it all these years.
They have great talent.
They have Witten, they got Romo, they got your boy Des Bryant, they got a great defense.
Des Bryant's tearing it up.
And Redskins 2-4.
Get in the end zone on that play, though.
Eagles have no defense. They should win it easily. But, I mean, you never know. They might choke just a little bit.
All right, next up, TL Counts tweets us. Even though the Broncos lost Sunday night, do you think Peyton Manning is still the coolest quarterback?
What in the world?
And does Von Miller have the cutest celebrations?
What
an awful question.
Who tweeted that?
Next.
We don't accept tweets from guys who like to be under center for the wrong reasons. My gosh. This one comes from Brandon Wall 50. Brandon asks, with my Missouri Tigers running through the SEC, do you see them beating Bama in the conference title game? Hashtag Eye of the Tiger.
You know, first of all, I want to start off with Coach Pinkel in Columbia has done a great job. No one expected the Missouri Tigers to be 7-0. They were 5-7 last year, kind of took a step back in the first year of the SEC. But they're 7-0. They're 3 or 4-0 in conference, I believe, atop the SEC East. They still got a tough one next week against the old ball coach, one of our better friends, and the South Carolina Gamecocks. But it's at home. And they have to play Johnny Football in Texas A&M. But do they beat Alabama in the championship game? No, I don't think so. I don't think they're at that level yet.
I mean, no one's going to beat Bama until Ohio State in the championship game. But here's the thing. As much as I hate to say it, Mizzou is playing really, really well. I know they lost their quarterback and all that, but they're playing really well.
Matt Mock looked good in the reserve role Saturday against the Gators.
I mean, they're lucky they just didn't play KU at Arrowhead, or else, they might have a 1 in the loss column. But
Didn't they beat KU at Arrowhead?
Good for them. I can't remember. Not in the snow, they didn't. No.
Last piece of mail comes from @ShayMiller. He tweets us, after the Ponies looking absolutely terrible Sunday night, are the Chiefs the team to beat in the AFC? Hashtag Chiefs.
Oh, those Kansas City fans! What a psycho!
You gotta love them.
What a psycho Kansas City Chiefs fan
You
he
gotta love
is.
him.
Well, I mean, who would have thought? Who would have thought? They're the only undefeated team
Coach Reid
left.
has done such a great job.
Chiefs in the belly of Andy Reid. Oh my Lord! I mean, but their defense is outstanding. You know, Tom Ali is getting to a quarterback. Houston, that whole defense is
Derek
great.
Johnson's playing well as well.
Right, but don't forget they still have to play Denver twice.
Yeah.
There's a whole another half season left. So I mean, Kansas City Chiefs fans get excited, but
If there's one team that can put pressure on the Denver Broncos and give Peyton Manning trouble, it's the Kansas City Chiefs. The way they attack the pass rusher and get after offenses is really remarkable. And Alex Smith is playing within the offense. Man, they're playing well. The defense is playing
they got the right
unbelievable.
formula so far. All right, now time for pick six.
Hope goes in motion, and the pressure on Warner, and the pass is intercepted. The pass is intercepted by Ty Law, and Law's going to score. Ty Law running it in for the touchdown with a 47-yard return on an interception.
Jesse, we didn't do so well last week. We both went 1-5. Not a very good start to
Ouch.
the season. But let's see if we can redeem ourselves here. Who you got this week?
I got the Indianapolis Colts over Houston. We have a problem, Texans. Cincinnati winning against welcome to Miami Dolphins. The Tennessee Titans beating the Owasso, a.k.a. St. Louis Rams. Redskins over you stay classy, San Diego Chargers. Buck Nation rise up,
Oh,
defeating
Lord
the Seahawks
Almighty.
at home. Not impressed with the Seahawks home. And Cleveland Browns getting a victory in Baltimore.
All right, I can tell you must not watch football that very often. I got Miami Dolphins if they can wear the orange jerseys on Thursday night. I got the Washington Skins in the nation's capital. I got my sleeper pick, Houston over Indy. Carolina at home against Atlanta with Cam going ham at home. I got the Seahawks by about 59
No
over
way.
your Tampa Bay
No way.
Buccaneers.
No way.
Shut down the cannons. And I got, of course, the New England Patriots, Bill Belichick, running up the score like 0-7 against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's a shocker. Let's take a break, but coming up, our 2-minute countdown, including a $180 million endorsement offer.
And also, 'tis the season for trick or treating. We'll be telling you who's a contender or pretender to make a run in the NFL
Who do
playoffs.
you think that contender is going to be?
Not the Bucks.
Hello there. Every American knows that U.S. pilots have the strongest passwords. But what makes them that way? American ingenuity, that's what. Here's the trick to it. Take a book, take a phrase from it, replace the spaces with numbers and symbols. That makes a password that's hard to crack and hard to forget. But the real security, that lies in changing your password regularly. I go.
Now time for happy birthday. On October 24th, happy 27th birthday to Mr. Drizzy Drake Rogers. The rapper, singer, songwriter, and actor from Toronto has recorded 3 studio albums and has sold over 5 million albums worldwide. He manages to have huge eyebrows, stroll around in a wheelchair, and send notes to Chris Brown, and still attracts an amazingly beautiful Rihanna.
Now time for a happy anniversary. On October 21st, happy anniversary to my St. Louis Cardinals winning the 2006 World Series. The Redbirds could have beat the Tigers with their eyes closed, as they only needed 5 games to win their 10th title in franchise history. They went on to win again in 2011.
You clearly don't know who you're talking to, so let me clue you in. I am not in danger, Skyler. I am the danger.
Jesse, who's your dangerous playoff team?
I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers. They got Scam Newton at quarterback, like Alabama fans would say. They're sitting at 3-3, second in the NFC South. They got a tough one Thursday night on NFL Network against the Bucs.
They got to get to the playoffs first. I like the Colts. They can maybe sneak in a first-round bye, maybe play at home. They've proven to beat the 49ers, the Seahawks, the Broncos.
Mr. White, buy or sell. Andrew Wiggins reportedly is being offered a $180 million endorsement deal by Adidas.
I'm buying all of it. I think his contract should be worth $180 million. He's one of Bill's boys. He's going to lead KU to the promised land. Move over Derrick Rose.
Contract was $180 million. He'd be ineligible, so you don't want that.
Everyone gets money in college.
There's no way he's worth $180 million. LeBron only got $100 million when he was 18.
Now time for a coin flip. Jesse, what's more likely to happen? Buccaneers going 0-16 or Patriots win the Super Bowl?
As much as it pains me to say this, Mr. White, I'm going to have to go with my Buccaneers going 0-16. We just lost our running back, Doug Martin, and our quarterback's name's Mike Glennon.
We all know the Patriots are winning the Super Bowl, so that's not even a question. What is good about your Buccaneers, though, they could get the first overall draft pick.
Walter, trick or treat, who's your contender and pretender in the NFL season?
I'm going to go pretender, the Ravens. Joe Flacco, anyone from Delaware sucks. And I'm going to go my contender, the 49ers. The cap is back and they're 4-0 last 4 games.
My contender is the New York Jets. Geno's playing well. The defense looks great. My pretender is your New England Patriots. After beating the New Orleans Saints,
You bite your tongue.
they now lost to divisional rival New York Jets. Bad loss. Mr. White, give me one for the road.
Better yet, make it 2. What do you got?
Checking out 16 Candles on Lifetime Network Thursday at 9.
Okay, I got the Blacklist for all you done watching Breaking Bad. Check it out on NBC, 9 p.m. Central Time, Monday nights.
We love you, Jake Ryan.
Check it out and check us out again here in 2 weeks. That's all for today. Good day and good night, knuckleheads.